Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So here it is. It's the Blaydon Race 2016 review from Thursday. Another great night of racing. It was possibly, well, out of the two times I've run it now, this was the best simply because of weather conditions, organisation, and just the electricity in terms of atmosphere. It was fantastic. As it always is from when I read it and when I've done it. Before I get started, I have to say a big thank you to everyone involved in the Blaydon Races. From clubs to organisers, bagpackers, volunteers, marshals, timekeepers, the folks at the finish line, the buses, everything and everyone involved within the Blaydon Race. You know who you are. Thank you for putting on another fantastic running event. Every year seems to get better and better. It just seems to be a consistency and nothing seems to go wrong, and that's what I love. It's just nice and clean cut. No delays, nothing like that, no holds up, organisation's brilliant, so you know who you are, and thank you. And here's 2017, cannot wait, thank you. So before I get to the review, let's see what my initial thoughts were straight after the race in this little clip. I'm a bit miserable, I'll just give you a heads up, and people were watching when I was filming it, so I was a little bit intimidated, but here's me.
Well, I did it, that's the Blaydon Race done. I did forget to vlog in the morning, before work, after work, and getting here. I was too busy concentrating and focusing on the task at hand. Got the nifty t-shirt, so pretty cool actually. I actually quite like the design. It's really modern and it feels nice on the skin. Yeah, so could it have gone better? Probably. I'm going to talk about it more when I get back in the house. There was the cock up. I locked myself outside the car. It's, yeah, so just a quick recap. I think I opened up a little bit too slow. I did get caught in a lot of human traffic. So here's my thoughts of the Blaydon Race in total in the own comforts of my very own home.
Thanks, Michael. Right, let's crack on with this review then. Beforehand, driving to Gateshead where I was going to park, a little sidestep. I locked myself outside my own car. So I had everything ready. I got myself stretched. I did some rolling with my massage stick. Bought myself an isotonic drink, and I was all good to go, but then I forgot to put on Vaseline as I was walking up towards the metro, so I came back, opened the boot. Now my car has this thing where if the doors are locked and you put the boot, that means everything's locked and shut. Me, unaware completely of this because I was too busy focused on getting to the start line on time, opened the boot, must have put my car keys inside the car, put my Vaz on, and then shut the boot. Then 30 seconds after I realised I did that, and not have my keys in my little pouch in my shorts, I realised I locked myself outside the car. Brilliant. So here I am panicking, thinking, Jesus Christ, I've got no way of getting home. I'm trying to think of scenarios, how to get home, and that did throw me off a little bit in terms of mental preparation. And it shouldn't be an excuse, there should be no, well, there's no excuses for what I did for the races, but it did have a little effect. There was times where I was running through the race thinking, how am I going to get home? And luckily, thanks to Helen, hello Helen, she let me use her phone to contact Emma to drive through to Gateshead to drop off the spare set of keys. And I'm sorry, Emma, that you had to do that, but I do appreciate that you had to come through at, what, 9:30 at night? Thank you, and sorry. We'll crack on with how the race went. I got there with no problems. I warmed up very well. Got about half a mile under my belt, nice and slow, making sure that everything felt warm. It was quite warm down at the start anyway, so it was a bit of an advantage there. So made sure I got some strides out, made sure I got like limbered up, so no static stretching. I've seen so much static stretching, it hurt. Didn't do any static stretching. Did some like on the spot squats, did some lunges as well, some clock lunges, some strides, some fast strides down and up the hill. And then just kept myself limber and loose up and down the hill, waiting for them to open the gates to line up. Once they did, I immediately made an error because I should have been as close to the front as possible, because starting at the mid-pack kind of hurt, and I explained in a bit why. And then there was no problems between the wait and setting off. Once I got going, it was about 40 seconds or so before I got the time chip barrier and clocked the watch going. Did have a little panic because my Garmin was misbehaving. It was stuck on a full bar for locating me, and it didn't twig on until literally about 30 seconds before the race started. So that was a bit of a relief when it kicked in. Yeah, but I found out starting mid-pack compared to last year where I started quite close to the front. People traffic, there was a lot of it, and it's racing. It's part and parcel of bulk racing. It happens at the Great North Run, happens at Blaydon, it happens at any 10k event unless you're at the front. Yeah, I found myself getting caught up behind some racers, which did slow us down a little bit. I had to adjust my cadence, and then I spent most of my time weaving, which is not ideal, but I wanted to get out there and stretch my legs and get some time. And then mile 1 was clocked at 8:04, I think, which was alright. I did want to open up easy, but that was way too easy. I really wanted to open up with a 7 something. But once I got to mile 2, that started to twig on and the times were getting lower and lower and lower. Once I got to mile 3, I felt good. Scotswood Road was a blur. Everyone says it seems to be the long slog of the race. It was a blur to me. Honestly, it was so quick. It was over before I knew it, and we were coming off the turn off. I don't know, it didn't seem like I'd been running for 17 or 18 minutes as it had on my Garmin. It just was over like that. It was over in a snap. And the best thing was, compared to last year where the sun was in my face, there was no sun and it was lovely and cool. And once the wind got a hold of me, it was the best feeling. And I managed to put my foot down a little bit. When we come off Scotswood Road, that's when things started to get a little bit tough. I did start to feel my right hamstring tighten ever so slightly, like the tiniest little twinge, and I thought it's just because I probably haven't drank enough. I try to get 3 litres in my body before I ran. It's probably because I haven't ate properly during the day. I did have pasta for my lunch, but then after that I kind of just snacked on like fruit and little bars and what have you, just to keep us taking over. I didn't want to be sick. And then when we got to, I think it was over the bridge and onto the final slog, the final mile, that's when it started to get really tough. And I thought, if I'm going to get anywhere close to sub 40, I have to put my foot down. And I did get caught in some human traffic again, but I think this is where everyone was starting to get tired and flagging, and it's natural. I mean, I'm not going to have a rant about it. It happens in every single participation event across the world, so it's just being at the right place at the right time, I suppose. And I've got to learn from the mistakes where I need to be as close to the front as I possibly can. I'm not the quickest runner, but I feel I'm generally quick enough to just get out there and hold my own. But part and parcel, there's nothing I can do. And once it got to the final mile, I started to crank it up. And I thought, right, I need to start winding it in. And that last hill, like, I'm sure there's a tiny hill somewhere. It got me a little bit. But once we got the final home stretch, I tried to put my foot down, but I had nothing left. Nothing left. My right hamstring was it was getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and I thought, there's no point in me pushing it to try and either pull my hamstring or tear it. So I figured just finish and get across the line, you'd be alright. By then it had crossed 42, 43 minutes, and I was deflated a little bit, so I just got through at the finish line. I did swear, I'll be honest, there were a few curse words, so I'm sorry if you heard us say a few blue words. It was just all the frustration coming out. But overall, I'm happy that I got through. That was the main objective, to get through and get round as safe as possible, uninjured-ish. The t-shirts are actually really nice. And I think out of the two, this is my favourite. I think the type of material they've used is like the in thing at the minute, 'cause I've got a gym top at the same from More Mile, and yeah, I like the feel of it. And it was so good to catch up with some of the Harriers there as well, so well done South Shields Harriers. And yeah, thanks again Helen, you know who you are, for letting us use your phone to get in contact so I can actually have a home to go to. Yeah, but overall, good little race. I was very tired when I got back. I didn't have enough time to record. Got back in one piece, got back at about 10 o'clock and just chilled and relaxed and tried to get my hamstring to loosen up a little bit, which it didn't. So work was interesting the next day as well, because I was dead, pretty much flat out exhausted, but hey-oh, it's part of racing. So if you did the Blaydon race, let me know in the comment section below. How did you get on? Did you get a PB? Did you not run a PB? Was it your first time? Let us know. And my question for you is, if you ran the Blaydon race, Are you going to do it again, or are you going to encourage people to run it with you? Put it in the comment section below, I want to know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, go and subscribe. I'm hoping to put out some videos over the next week or so. I think one's coming up with my heroes of running, so that's due out in the next couple of weeks or so, if not beforehand. Don't forget to share the video as well, I missed that out. Don't forget to share the video. I'll put it on the Facebook, I'll put it on Twitter, and I'll put it on Instagram. So yeah, go and check that out, and go and give the channels a check out as well. It's all below. Yeah, so until the next time I see you, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.